Yeah, we're live on YouTube now. Hey guys, welcome to the pre-show. We will be starting the stream in a couple minutes. Just bear with us. Yeah, mute it on YouTube. Perfect. Screen share. Let me post the link. Your FHS link up. Team fitted link up. See who's in here. I got 5. Give people a couple more minutes to join. If you're in the room already, say what's up, say hi. I see Carlos.
What up, Carlos? I'm looking for James. Where's James?
Yeah, James better join. See, Chris is here. Chris K.
Chris is always a loyal customer.
Mm-hmm.
So good to see him.
See Roderick Ashton. All right, boys, let's get started.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Views from the Vault, episode 7. It's your homie Leon here, and my fabulous co-host Pierre. We have a very special show planned for you guys today. We have Kamaj Silva of Milk fame.
What's up, guys?
Here to join us, and Pierre's gonna go under the cap with them and learn a little bit about Pierre.
Yeah. That was another Matrix moment, but that's the first time I've ever been called fabulous, Leon. I gotta tell you that. that was beautiful. So I'm on with my fabulous guest, Kamaj. So Kamaj of Milk fame. First, Kamaj, I have to ask you, what is that? What is all that stuff behind you?
That's all my sneakers, man. It's like the whole room's full of it. I just put this together like last week because it was like a mess in here, and I had some free time and I just got to it. I'm not pretty good with like my hands and putting up shelves and stuff because like brown people, they don't do that. Like back home, you just pay someone to do it, but here like you got to do it yourself, right? I tried to look for a guy at Kijiji, but I couldn't find anyone like for like a decent amount, and I don't want some random people with like the Rona like up in my house. So I'm like, I'll watch YouTube and figure out how to do it. So I kind of did it. So sneakers is where I started. SNEAKERTUB was like my first business. We'll probably get into it later. And sneakers, I think they're my first love.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not good with shelves either, and I'm white. So I have my dad. Anytime I need some handiwork done, man, my dad's the guy. I keep him busy with that kind of stuff. But so Kamaj, tell us. So like, listen, man, you you started by saying, you really got, your first love with sneakers, you got into sneakers. Tell us about that. Like, I want to hear about more about that.
So I work for a film distribution company here in Canada. They're the biggest independent distributor called Entertainment One, or E1. They distributed movies like The Hunger Games, Expendables, Divergent, and all that stuff, and also Twilight, I guess, if you guys remember Twilight from way back. So worked with them for over 5 years as a marketing manager. That's kind of like my marketing creative background. Kind of wore like many hats, like, though I wasn't officially a creative director, but I kind of did like the role of creative director while being a marketing manager, because it was like a small, like our team was like the Canadian team was like a smaller team, so you had to wear like many hats. Got laid off after like 5 years of working for them. Decided to do something on my own, because I wasn't really, I love film, but I didn't love working for certain people in their company, like some of the management, some of the guys who I worked like right at the end. So I decided, rather than going like hunting for a job and like trying to prove to people that I'm like good enough to work for them, I kind of wanted to build something on my own. Always loved subscription boxes, always loved sneakers, so I kind of had the idea of marrying the two together. Didn't know if it would work right away, but we got pretty good traction within like the first 2 months, and I fulfilled orders basically. Like I went to I don't know if you guys know Sivu Play here in like Toronto.
Yeah.
So I used to buy shit from Sivu Play and like flip it for like probably the first 2 months. We had like 10-20 customers or whatever. Didn't do a lot of marketing. Then we kind of got into like the influencer game, and we sent a bunch of shit to like influencers, and they started unboxing stuff on YouTube. And this is when like sneaker YouTube was like pretty big. I don't know if it's if it's big anymore, or people like follow sneaker YouTube like crazy on like YouTube. And then we started getting like more and more customers. Then I was like, oh, like I can't do this. Like I can't flip like shit. I can't put like 200 pairs of shoes in my car and like do 2 trips to like Newmarket and come back, right? I decided to, because I didn't know anything about like the sneaker industry, or because I just got into it for the love of it, but I didn't know anything about like the sneaker industry or how like the inner workings work. Like, is there a sales team? Is there a sales manager? I had no idea about the hierarchy of like how stuff worked. Did a bit of research, quite a bit of research actually, and then I kind of figured out like what the game is. Like each region has its like sales manager and stuff like that, right? Started randomly like emailing people, sales managers, and trying to get an account. Didn't work out for like quite a long time. Pitched quite a bit to like Puma and like Saucony and New Balance and all of those guys. Actually, like I think the sales manager from Puma stopped like answering my phone call. I think she blocked my number. So I used like my landline and I called her. So she probably thought like
People block him too. A bunch of girls block him too. So he's used to it.
Yeah, New Era is probably gonna block you soon, Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it came to a point where she couldn't say no. So they gave us a conditional account at first, saying, "Okay, we tell you what you can buy," kind of thing, right? Then I'm like, so we did it for like a month, and then I'm like, okay, this is the volume I can buy. I can buy 200 pairs a month, 250 pairs a month. You give me stuff right before they go on clearance to other retailers, but you give me a good deal on it, so we can get it to our customers before they're on clearance, right? I think now we have like enough orders that we don't have to buy like any clearance stuff. We get like those discounts like right off the bat, and we have like a good relationship with all the brands we work with, and we get those discounts right out the bat. So that's how it like all got started. SNEAKERTUB's 4 years for now, and we've done a couple of $1 million in revenue, and team's pretty small. It's just me and my partner Jason managing it on the Canadian end. We've outsourced everything else, and we really don't want a big team. We want to stay like, we want our team to be small, but use our resources and kind of outsource everything everywhere kind of thing. So that's why SNEAKERTUB, that's the SNEAKERTUB story.
Wow. So listen, so, you know, I can remember my first pair of sneakers that my parents got me that was name brand, and was the Air Jordan 1s, because I'm older than you guys, I think. So the Air Jordan 1s were my first pair of real name brand sneakers, like the original white and reds.
Right.
I'll never.
Do you still have them?
No, I wish.
Dude.
I wish. I mean, I bought the origin stories a couple years back, you know,
Right.
just so I can kind of relive those memories. But you know, listen, sneakers are huge, man, and you know they do connect to hat culture. So I'd love to
Right.
hear, you know, how did that transition? So, you know, I know the cornerstone of what you do is sneakers, right? But tell us about the transition to hats and how you married those two.
Right. So for me, a logo on a hat always looked really good on a hat than anything else. Like a logo on a hat is, there's something about it I can't explain, but it just a logo on a hat looks super good rather than like a logo on a t-shirt or a bag or like whatever, right? So I wore like a lot of snapbacks when I used to live in England before. From 2003 to like 2008 I lived in England, so I used to wear like a lot of snapbacks like at that point, and snapbacks hadn't like done like the whole comeback. Like rappers wore fitteds like back in the day, right? From like you guys remember like the G Unit era, like all of those guys wore fitted.
Sure.
But I wore a ton of snapbacks because I didn't think a fitted like looked good on me personally, so I wore a lot of snapbacks. There's something about like snapbacks that I like when I was younger looked better on me. Like turning back time, I'm like, it doesn't make a freaking difference. They both good. But then we opened up. So SNEAKERTUB turned into Milk Toronto, where we needed a retail space to get certain accounts. We had reached out to New Era. I've been in contact with Andrew Silva, who's the rep for Toronto. We've touched base a couple of times. We've stayed in contact, but it always was the case of you need to have a retail store to get a New Era account, like period. Yeah. I think that's kind of their like number one rule is you need to have like a retail store to get an account. We had a few challenges with like brands like New Balance and Timberland as well. They're like, okay, you guys are online, you guys are subscription, and people didn't believe in like the sneaker subscription like platform back in the day, right? Or the format back in the day. Like Nike started a sneaker subscription 3 years after like we did, kind of thing. So like we did it first, and people didn't believe in the subscription model back then. So anyway. So we decided to open a retail store to get those accounts, and kind of also I had outgrown my house, like working out of my house. So we needed a retail space and a warehouse space. So we found this spot in Dundas in DuPont, pretty small spot, but I think it was a shithole when we like signed the lease, but we did a lot of work in there. And we turned it into Milk Toronto. How the name came, we were originally going to call it Brick and Mortar, like brick and mortar. That was what I wanted to call it. And I wanted a kind of like a brick and, you know, like a kind of steampunkish industrial look to it. But then we ran out of milk in my house once, and my wife's like go to like wherever and like pick up milk. So I went into, I can't remember where, like one of the superstores or whatever. And I saw like the milk wall in the back, like where it's like different colors and different stuff. I'm like, wow, this could be like a cool idea for like a back wall. Call it milk.
I think we lost you there, Kamaj.
Hold on, buddy. Am I back?
He's frozen.
Oh, there you are. You're back. You're back. I think we lost him.
The first.
I think we're losing everybody but me.
We see him.
Let me give it a second.
I think Hat Club had a shock drop or something. Everyone's messaging me about Diamondbacks and Diamondbacks and Giants and stuff. Of course they.
Let's kind of pause here for a minute. We can maybe hang on tight. You'll probably come right on back.
Yeah, I think this thing is connection's bad. So I'm not the only one with bad internet in Canada.
The one thing I have here is I have a Fortress that's
Yo, I'm back.
Welcome back, Kamaj.
Sorry, but
You're at the point. I'll share where you're at. You're at the point where you saw the back wall of milk in all different colors. You said, "Wow, that would be a great backdrop."
Yeah. So we decided to call it milk, and so my partner Jason wasn't a partner at that point. So I just because Jason Bitton, he owns a club called what Simon Says in Toronto, and he's into sneakers. He's involved with the Ewing brand, and he's a guy who like lives the culture. We call him Fake Drake because he looks like Drake, but he's the Jewish. Well, Drake's technically Jewish. He's a Moroccan Jew, so he's like a darker version of Drake. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So I contacted Jason, who was a friend of mine. We used to work together at E1, and I'm like, dude, I'm doing this thing because he was always interested in like investing in SNEAKERTUB, and I was always like, no, I don't need money right now, so I don't want to break it off. But I thought that's like the right time to bring in a partner. So Jason came on board. We called the store Milk. We opened. We decorated the store. Leon's been there. I think James has been there. So we wanted kind of a cool, like a fun theme. We have a giant glass shoebox filled with cereal, and it's a fun kind of experience. Like kids love the store. And how we got into hats was so Andrew Silva. So we got the new era account, which we really wanted, and originally we started doing snapbacks. Like the first run was actually dad hats. Sold those out, did snapbacks. Then Andrew Silva told me fitteds are making an appearance, making a comeback or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's try this, because I had no idea about like the fitted community or whatever. So I just designed like the Milk logo on like a camo hat, and we put it out. And I think James was probably one of our first customers, and he spread the word. Then I started a little bit of digging on like the fitted industry and like the fitted community, and I kind of got aligned. Leon led me in Team Fitted along with the other guys. Fitted Hat Society, I was a part of it. So we literally just make fitteds now.
And you make
very, very small runner snapbacks, which I don't think we have done a snapback for at least a year now, or a little over a year. So Milk's been around for 2 years. So probably for like a good year and a half, we haven't done like a snapback. So I'm a loyal, like fitted guy from like a manufacturing perspective, not from a collector's perspective either.
That's what we like to hear. You're a fitted guy. So listen, I think the thing that I like most about your designs is how clean they are. Even what you're wearing right now, it's super clean and simple. But listen, you branded it, right? Branded it. I mean, this is like you see that hat, you know who it is, you know what it's about, and I love it. So, tell me about, like, you've got two different cultures that are somewhat competing with each other at times and complementing each other. So tell us, what are the key differences that you see between the hat culture and the sneaker culture?
It starts with audience, man, because sneakers, it's always like younger dudes who want to look cool in front of their friends, right? I think the hat guys, it's more about like, so sneaker culture, like, no offense to like sneakerheads, there's a lot of posers out there who are like fake sneakerheads who are getting into it because it's cool. But I haven't seen that with like the hat guys. Hat guys come from like either like a baseball background, or they like really like fitteds because they like fitteds, right? Because they live the culture, they do it. Like even our customers, even the guys who buy from us, right? And they're a little bit older too, so it's easier to deal with them. Like if there's a shipment delay or whatever, like they understand, not like a 13-year-old who would flip you off and say like whatever, like, you know, like I actually like the hat guys better than like this, like our sneaker customers, to be honest with you. But right now I think like we've for SNEAKERTUB we've started doing like a little bit of paid ads, and like the customers we get right now are like the customers we actually want, like the older guys who have like money to spend on like sneakers and like hats and whatever. So like I really love like our milk clientele, who are older and who are like more understanding, respectable. I think I prefer the hat guys to like the sneaker guys, but they kind of go hand in hand. But yeah,
you know, it's interesting because I hear a lot of people say, you know, the hat guys are more helpful with one another, and the sneaker guys are more in competition with one another. You know, and that's the interesting component of it that what I appreciate about the hat community is, you know, for example, I had people asking me today, you know, can you pick up this hat for me? Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. And, you know, with sneaker culture, it feels more like a competition to get that sneaker released because it's just how the culture's built. But, you know, listen, I think the stuff is super cool. I'd love to ask you one other question.
Thanks,
and then I'll see if Leon has any questions or if there's any questions out there from the folks that are watching. Where do you see your fitted hat game going? Like, where do you see it going?
So we ultimately, like, my ultimate goal is to do like a New Era, like original hat, like with New Era, like a proper collaboration, not like a custom collaboration like we do. We call it like New Era X Milk, but technically no, it's not like New Era X Milk, right? So that's where that's what I want to do. And I'm also open to like designing hats for other companies, though I own Milk. Like I'm an individual designer as well. Like I do design work like for like my friends like who have like other companies. Like I do it for free, but like for if there's ever like hat club watching and like they need like a Milk hat, and if they want to collaborate with Milk, like we're open to it, though we're in competition, right? Like I'm open to I don't think of brands in like the traditional way. I think of it as like the more we get together and more we collaborate, like the more we all can grow. So that's why I want to do like with Leon and I have talked about this before like New Era went on like this hiatus thing. So we want to do like a TF like Milk collab. Want to do like a FHS Milk collab. I've spoken to Robert about it. You know, kind of like as we get bigger, we don't want to leave the community behind, right? Like as we grow, we want like the community to grow, like as an individual, as a business owner, because like I'm wearing this hat because you guys ordered like this hat from me, right? So I don't want to be that guy who grows too big and like leaves and forgets the community. So I want to grow along with the community. So ultimately what I want to do is do a collaboration with New Era or with any of, you know, with like I'd love to redesign like some of the league hats as well, like not the major leagues, obviously, like at least like a minor league collection, which I wanted is a design, but I literally haven't had time to like kind of like reach out to like the minor leagues and like offer that service. So if you know, if any of the guys who are watching has some connection to like a minor league or like a minor league team, would be happy to like do like a whole redesign for you guys. And that'll be for free, obviously. Like we won't charge you like for like design fees. We'll just sell the hats and split the profits.
So Kamaj, I thought of one more question. So
yeah,
can you give me anybody out there that's creating that you think is just doing like just great stuff out there from a hat perspective? Is there anybody?
Danny, man, it's always like for me, it's Danny. Like I like Danny from like the top design, like, you know, Danny from like the legal designers, if we can call them the legal designers, right? Am I right, Leon? Am I politically correct by calling Danny a legal designer? I don't know. What are your views on it? I don't know. Like the lines have blurred now anyway, so like I don't know what's like.
I don't know if there's a strict like phrase for people who make hats, but there's
Like,
definitely
it's
people.
obvious you guys are like not bootleggers. You guys design like the proper way, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's not like you just don't take a hat and go to it. Not most of the times you guys don't do that. You guys do like proper runs, right? I'd say I really love Danny's designs.
Yeah.
I like Thomas's stuff. Thomas has been putting out some heat. James's Pride hat was super cool. Some of Leon's stuff, pretty good. And yeah, man, I think everyone who's designing at like the major level or close to the major level is because design's subjective, right? It's definitely subjective.
Yeah,
I can't sit here and say like I don't like someone else's stuff because they design something different to what I think like looks good. My designs will always be simple and they'll always be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of guys in the community doing like great stuff, and that's good. Like, if people want to make like a ton of bootleg hats, do it.
Create, right? Just create.
Create.
That's right. Well, Kamaj, I want to thank you for being on today. It was outstanding having you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and listen, we'd love to have you back on in a future show and talk through something else if you be game.
Yeah, man, sure. Just let me know whenever, and I got you.
Yeah. Well, Kamaj, thanks so much, man. Have a great rest of your evening. I'm sure you're going to be dreaming up what next creation you're going to throw out there. So we can't wait to see what it is.
I'm having a creative block right now, man. I've talked to Thomas. We're kind of doing something together. Thomas has suggested some good stuff. So as soon as New Era picks back up, you'll see that come.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, man. And we'll talk again soon. Okay, Kamaj?
Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
Easy.
Take care.
Thanks, Leon.
All right. That was fun.
That was good.
Yeah. Always good to have some Toronto folks on.
Yeah.
I met him early in his game. I think he just had released his first camo joint, and I don't think he was like really planning to sell a lot of fitteds. Like he wanted to just have 18 of that design, and that design would never come out again, and keep everything limited. And he had a very specific way to do business. It was very interesting. And the time there wasn't a lot of Toronto. But yeah, can you hear me?
You went out a little bit, but we can get started here with the week in review, right? You can take us away here.
Yeah. Let's talk about this week in caps. So we had Hat Club, Chimuko. So Chimuko's hat sold out right away. I was hoping to catch this on a pre-order, but it never came, unfortunately. You grabbed this one.
We'll have him on the show next Wednesday.
Yeah, you grabbed this one?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah, they got to get this one on a reorder. I don't know why they didn't, but this one's fire. Milwaukee Brewers. So they had 3 hats that came out, 50th year anniversary, and then I guess a regular, kind of looks like an on-field almost.
No, they had 4 of the 50th come out.
Okay, so all 4 of these.
They had 4 before, 4 this time. There's one missing here. There was a barrelman.
Okay.
Swinging, not just his head, but that other one was an alternate.
Okay, cool. You grabbed all 5, I assume.
No, I didn't. I grabbed the patch one, the side patch ones, the 50th anniversary.
You have
I load off the other one.
You got the whole set, making people jealous. And then this one's a Tiger Stadium. This is a kind of like a newer, like a newer old patch, I guess, like a patch I didn't use a lot before, and now they use it. So this one's kind of cool. And then the 50th year.
Yeah. Both of those were out in pink bottoms before, right?
Yep.
And that Tiger Stadium patch, that one was used, and Robert Martin and some other Detroit guys told me that was used on a Lids hat a few years back.
Yeah. the ultimate patch collection.
That's right.
And then we had a double pink bottom drop. These ones sold out real quick. The Texas one sold out super fast. The Houston one, no side patch. So that one's a little bit different. That was kind of interesting because this would have been the year, I guess, 05 that they lost to the White Sox. So kind of better that they didn't have the patch on it. So I grabbed
the second one without the patch. Now the Colt 45s and now this one.
Yeah. So that one's interesting. I assume you grabbed both?
No, I didn't grab the Houston one. I already had the Rangers one.
Okay, cool.
But I did pick up that one for my son.
And then double green, so green with pink, 99 Yankees classic, and then the big old 75th.
Yeah, 1978 World Series. I had that one about 6 months ago.
Yeah. It looks like I listed the Detroit one again. So that one's, yeah. And then with so that Mets one's interesting because it's in the Yankee colorway. So.
Yeah, they did a pink bottom exactly the same way.
Yeah, I skipped on these ones. And then this is the USFL?
USFL,
yeah. You grabbed the whole set?
I did. I saw some people like posting and saying, how many did you get? I didn't want to write that I got them all. I almost felt like overkill, but I got all these. Listen, it's a defunct league, man. I love the logos. It reminds me, the New Jersey Generals. It reminds me of Herschel Walker and Jim Kelly and some of those old superstars. So I picked them all up because, I don't know when these are going to come around again. I love the logos.
Yeah. It's interesting they have no back or no side. So they have no, I guess, nothing tying it back to the original league. So.
Right. Yeah. I think there was like 6 teams that they couldn't do. But this is what they could do. So I think it was a cool, it's a cool set.
Yeah. I know nothing about this league, but
it wasn't around very long, so you weren't missing much.
But some of the logos look super interesting. The LA one looks interesting. The Oakland Invaders look super cool, but
yeah, that's the first one that caught my eye. Just visually, but but they're all pretty cool.
Yeah. There's
not one there that I'm like, oh, that's ugly.
No. Maybe the Panthers a little bit, but yeah, so I think people got early access to this on Friday and they're supposed to drop Saturday.
I think it was like insider early access.
Yeah, so that's interesting that they're doing that. A lot of them sold out, didn't even make it to Saturday, but Hat Club's doing Hat Club things. Shout out to Hat Club. And then the NBA crop, notable omission. They don't have the world champs here, so I saved about $45. Did you jump on this one?
I saved $45 too because I didn't like it.
Okay, I'm surprised they got Celtics and you didn't grab, so I think that says a little bit about it. I think it's a little bit of reach here, no disrespect, but
this is one of those hats that I don't think is going to age well.
No. Yeah. ECAPS Unlimited dropped a bunch of pink bottoms, so these were kind of interesting.
Pink, does it?
Sorry?
It doesn't look like the same pink.
I think it is the same pink though.
Really? It looks a little bit like a richer pink.
I don't know. We got to see what's in hand. I know I grabbed the Angels.
Did you?
Because Justin hates red on pink, so we thought that we would grab this, and then so we grabbed this one, and 2 days later, they showed the T mark or the T 800. John posted one of the.
When you get it, let's take a look at the pinks. We got to see that side by side. See, I don't know if that's the exact same pink.
Just looking at it, it looks like it's the same, but we'll know once we get it in hand. That's shipping to TJ anyway, so TJ, let me know. And then they had the, I guess the dual, New York Yankee, New York Mets, and then the roses. I wanted to grab the roses, but it sold out by the time we went to check out. So GOC on that one. And then this kind of Yankee, same patch, but one's on red with gray, and the other one's navy or is it black on red bottom. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
ECAP City had a big restock on their stuff, so a bunch of Yankee stuff.
They came back strong, man. They had a strong showing.
Yeah, I think all of our stuff was on the same boat because because I got a bunch of hats at the same time as them, I think. But highlights of this would be the Rough Riders is cool. The Olympic Stadium Expos is kind of cool. The Filipino hat's not bad. Something about that Reds cap. It's the year that they won, but I don't know.
It's just a bad picture, man. They just it's just a bad picture. They washed out the black in the picture.
The black's not that black.
I mean, I'm sure it looks great in hand.
Yeah, and they had a couple New York ones.
Yeah, I picked up that Detroit.
The old Detroit, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then World Series loser patch for the Astros, New Jersey State hat. That Mets one's kind of interesting. It has the
loser patch,
the right? A's. Well, it's got the A's patch on it almost. It's kind of weird.
Well, the A's won that year, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, the A's did win that year. I would not buy that hat.
Yeah. The Ninja Turtles one sold out super quick, as all Ninja Turtles stuff does. The Cleveland is kind of interesting.
Yep, that's from 70. I think that's 75 to 85. That's the time period they wore that.
Yeah. And anytime they do the A's with solid green and yellow, it's super clean. And then this, I think, was the pickup of the week from
ECAP. I love this hat. And so I posted in my story today, and ECAP City sent me a message and said, we can't make that hat again. So for those that missed out, they're not going to be able to make this hat again.
Damn. Yeah, that's a shame. We know a couple other companies did something similar. Hat Heaven's got the New York one on route, I believe. And then Billing Creation has their brown and gold San Diego. So it'll be interesting.
Snapback though on the Billing Creation one.
Ooh, snapback? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to go scoop one up for you and I when I found out they couldn't make them again, and I found out they were snapbacks.
Just Sports AZ, based out of Arizona. They had a bunch of new hats hit their website. So interesting with them is it looks like they did a lot of blackout style hats, but all of them are looking like that new spring training material, like that kind of hex diamond era.
Yeah.
So did a bunch of blackouts. So these were some of the highlights. Angels, Giants, Lakers.
You like blackouts, Leon?
I don't really. I think it washes out the logo.
Yeah.
I'm not big on it, but Lids did the cool way when they do blackouts, they do the blackout sticker. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then a couple on NFL, and then they did the Cowboys draft cap, but in black. So shout out to Just Sports. And then Locker Room at Downey. So they had just made a website, right?
Yeah, just made a website. You were able to buy from them directly before go in store, but they just launched the website. I made a couple of purchases on there already. Shipping's kind of expensive, but they have some really cool stuff that you may not want to turn down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So had a bunch of obviously they're based in LA, so they had a bunch of LA stuff, Mexican flag.
They have 196 different Dodgers caps on their site.
Jeez.
And to Chris K's pleasure, they have 2 Angels caps.
I know they don't have the graffiti in size 8 because we've been searching for it forever. This one's an interesting release. I think it's called Red Dragon or Red Dynasty or whatever the heck. So we got we did some spell check with my parents. So that character actually means like middle.
Okay.
Right. So or mid. I don't know. Maybe some Chinese people can get it, but it's the character of Zhong, which is like middle. So I don't know if it's just
it is in the middle of the front of the hat.
Yeah, it's in the middle. So I don't know who's behind this or whatever. Red Dragon. I think they're out of Vancouver, Canada. Yeah. I don't know who runs it.
First time I've seen this.
Yeah. But they dropped a couple new fitteds. They've been doing fitteds for a minute, but yeah. So middle. Fourth quarter shop. So they got a restock on a lot of the Copa stuff.
Wow.
The Iron Pigs has a Puerto Rico flag on the side. I thought that was kind of
the Coquis, and they have that Puerto Rico flag. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, and then the a new, I guess, identity would be the Rochester. I think they're looking like some type of pina colada or some type of coconut drink in the top right hand corner. You see that?
Yeah, I've seen that before. They've used that in years. They've used that in years past.
Okay. And they got Nashville. Any one of these ones stand out for you? The Funky Boots one is weird.
I'm kind of, these are all like retreads. So like these are things I've already seen. Nothing like, I'm low ridered out. I don't know about you, but it's time to like refresh or move on.
Yeah. I think the Churros was originally like a theme night, and then they just lopped it into Copa, if I'm not mistaken. But
Listen,
yeah,
Hat Club did these best
when they're on black, right?
Yeah, they just do them better, man. The colors aren't so bright. I mean, a couple of these are cool, but the way Hat Club did it to me was the right way. And then Lids with their blackouts, a couple, last year, those were done right. This is just too much for me. It's getting old.
Yeah, and then fourth quarter showing their love to California Angels. I'm sure Chris has got a lot of these one in his cart.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Got some Oakland love, so Las Vegas Raiders, the Vegas sign hat, the one that I was wearing earlier tonight, and then the Sugar Skull. So all cool stuff. Some more Los Angeles stuff. So East LA, the spring training D and Poly. That's something I'm gonna have to eventually grab. I've always wanted to grab that.
Yeah.
Hat Club did like a spring training version, but it's not a solid blue.
No, it's got the white front, right?
Yeah.
I did buy some of those on the locker room of Downey.
Oh yeah?
I got one that's black with gold.
Nice. I just want a plain Dodger blue Poly, no spring training bullshit, but it's on a list, but I'm not in a rush to buy it.
I like the black and gold though. That just looks good.
Topper store. So Toppers is out of Germany. So they had some cool stuff. Palm trees. I think Hat Club just released 3 palm trees today.
Yeah.
But Topper store had like a kind of like a unique colorway, almost a Miami type. Them centering the logo is always going to get to me, so it's an easy pass for me. Double LA front, so LA front, LA back. That's interesting. So stands out because it's
it different. Does. It's not because of the heathered back.
Yeah.
I don't like Chiefs on the brim like that though. That's for sure.
Yeah, and then they had the Miami. They had a red face Patriot, and then the We the North. So that one's interesting. I've never seen a hat like that. The Raptor hat. Kind of looking into potentially making that one in different colorways. Shout out Kevin. And then Sports World 165. I think they're kind of new to the scene in terms of website wise. I think they're out of New York, so hopefully they're staying safe in this. But they had a bunch of releases, so we got a bunch of Arizona Diamondbacks. You like that patch, right? The inaugural.
That's one of my favorite patches of all time.
It's so big, man.
But it looks good, man, with that Diamondback
and the copper.
Yeah, and holding the ball and smile. It's a nice looking hat.
Yeah, a couple Boston Braves for you.
Yeah, I don't like those. I don't like the side patch. I love the front logo because it was one of my top 5 defunct logos, but I do not like that side patch.
Yeah, the old National League holding that police baton. It looks
cheesy.
Yeah. Had a couple of New York things, Brooklyn things. I'll always forever be against the belt buckle front, so you won't catch me wearing that. New York Knicks hat's kind of cool. The logo's cool, but I'm never gonna rush to buy a Knicks hat.
Me neither. I'll leave them for Spike Lee.
Yeah, exactly. Couple 50th anniversary Houston patches, 50th anniversary Brewers. What else we have? Queens, a couple Queens hat, and then the Volt yellow. Tampa Bay Rays.
It's pretty bold.
And then they had a bunch of Blue Jay ones. So denim, we got the Angry Bird and gray, that pink, silver, black, the white combo I'll never wear, and then the black, red, blue. That one's kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm not too much into the fashion cap kind of thing. I just feel like either it gets played out or it gets, you can't really put a time on it. Like to me, these kind of scream like older styles, even if they're newer type hats. So I'm gonna stay.
Look at that denim one. Is hideous. Like these are things that, to me, like some of these fashion ones, like 5 years from now, you'll be like, why the hell did I buy this?
Yeah. The gray is normal though. The Angry Bird J 30th anniversary, that's like a normal type hat, but the rest of them are a little
There's
too.
enough caps out there where you can match your sneakers without going wild like this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that some of them aren't cool. Some are, but I mean, like, really, you really need that denim one. You can't find something that matches your sneakers that's better than that.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the denim.
Yeah.
And then they had a bunch of Met stuff. Gatorade one's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The Mets in the Yankee colorway is kind of interesting to me, and then a bunch of them with the Subway Series patch, and then a bunch of them without it.
Yeah.
Cool lineup for any Mets fans out there, and then they had a bunch of Yankee ones. So belt buckle front, 27 championship. Nothing too crazy, but you know.
Well, I'm not wowed by anything
Yeah.
from them on this list.
And then Clink Room had about 4 designs hit pre-order. So we had John from Ink Park had a fresh kicks. Tiger King by KC. Ephra did the Aztec looking one, and then of course Tony did the Reaper. So I think these are up for pre-order for another couple weeks.
Well, I think Tony sold so well it broke the system because people were getting refunded. There was some sort of error where 18 orders were screwed up.
Yeah.
So not only did Tony Ross create that beautiful image, but he also broke the system.
He also hit his sales minimum in like one day. So
yeah, insane.
Shout out to Tony. It's a fire design. It's a fire hat. That one I cannot wait to have that in hand. And then Can't Buy Respect dropped a couple, I think a 4-pack. We got the Atlanta one, the Ricky Henderson themed Oakland Athletics. You see anything you like here?
There's something about that embroidery work that doesn't look good to me.
Really? Well, it's got to be post. There's no way.
No, it is post. I mean, the Ricky Henderson looks cool, but then the logo on the side, I don't know, it just doesn't look good. And then you got Dumbo like playing with a clown over here. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, it's like, come on, clean it up.
Well, the side patch is definitely too high. That's
but also I don't understand why Dumbo is there with the clown.
Yeah, it's a weird move. And then they took a couple Miami hats. So the one on the right is it's the Player Weekend hat. So Little Havana, and then the other one is for Little Haiti. Huge fucking patches. Kind of interesting, but I'm not saying.
Dude, this is an all over cap, in my opinion, done wrong.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. Those are all over caps done wrong.
I think it's kind of cool. It's got a cool look, but it's just a little bit weird on the execution. I mean, they went super high on certain things. I don't think they'll be comfortable. But that's the risk you take when you do like post-production stuff. You got to know where to put stuff. So some of the stuff I think is just way too big. And it's not easy to sew either. So to get that high, you see where it says welcome to, that is very high on a hat.
Yeah.
I would never go that high. Like that whole all the font you see there, I think is like too high. I wouldn't go any higher than that.
It's an odd choice. Like you're using a Players Weekend cap.
Yeah.
It's almost like let's find some caps.
It's because they wanted the blue. It's that blue that's hard to find, right?
Yeah, but it's like let's just go find some caps that are just kicking around that no one wanted to buy, and then we're gonna throw on this embroidery.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of these.
Yeah. I like the intent. I like the style, but yeah, I think it just misses the mark a little bit. Augusta Green Jackets, so they dropped a bunch of hats. They got some Father's Day deals going on, so if you hop on, you can probably catch a deal. I'm trying to avoid anything food based, so the sandwich for me is out. Star Stripes is whatever, but the rest of the actual Murder Hornet look-alike thing,
they look good.
Not bad.
They look good.
The Amarillo Sod Poodles, so they are Texas League champs of 2 years ago. It looks like they had like a little Father's Day pack, so you get like a little pennant thing, a mug, a decal, and then a pin and a hat. I didn't look at the price, but the actual package looks kind of cool. So that's kind of interesting. They give you a whole package there. And then the Charlotte Stone crabs had a Father's Day thing, so it's like that little pair of sunglasses with the drink holder thing. Corpus Christi came out with a batting practice hat, and then
It's
the
a drink koozie, Leon.
A koozie?
A drink koozie. I don't know if you guys say it in Toronto that same way, but it's a drink koozie.
Yeah. What is it? It keeps your beer cold or whatever, right?
Or your soda if you're like me.
Okay, fair enough. Harrisburg Senators, they have George Washington kind of drinking. That one's a weird one. I passed on that one. That one has a look of like a Brandios logo.
Yeah.
That's a no for me. Reading Fighting Phils. So
Yeah.
they did, I guess they're an affiliate of the Phillies. So they did, I guess, like Philly colorway hats. If these hit clearance, I might buy. I kind of have like a new policy not to spend regular price on MILB, although, I'd like to support the team, but these ones are kind of cool. They got both hats done in the Philadelphia Philly colorway.
Well, once you get them on clearance, it justifies the shipping price.
Yeah, exactly. And then news from the Hoon Express. So Hoon, shout out to Hoon, our friend in South Korea.
Yeah.
He's sent over a couple things for us to kind of check out. So this one is a New Era Japan exclusive. It's called the Pile Hat. So that's 6,000 Japanese yen. I don't know what that converts to, but it sounds like a lot of money. 6,000 of anything is probably a lot. It's a towel-like material, and the gray one is almost sold out. Do you see anything here that interests you?
Oh, no.
No?
No.
The thing about Asia is that they actually like really go for it. Like in terms of like the materials and stuff like that. Like
They're not bad looking though. I'm going to tell you, but I'd have to see one,
Yeah, exactly. And then moving forward, we had the Pikachu, I guess, restock in Hong Kong. So the thing with this is Hong Kong doesn't is that they don't have an actual website. So I don't know how people are buying them. I guess they got to buy them in person. So this was a restock of a couple years back. This one's kind of interesting. I might try to catch it, but I'm gonna have to find someone in Hong Kong.
You're gonna try to catch them all, Leon?
Yeah, I gotta catch them all. You know me, man. I like the New Era front logos and the New Era theme.
Yeah, you and I have had this discussion before.
Exactly. And then moving forward, we got our homie here from Overhead checking in. He's going to be talking about some stuff. So, Pierre, you want to kind of introduce this?
Yeah, listen, when I saw these go up, I don't know, Adam, if I was the first to buy them, but I must have been one of the first, because as soon as I woke up in the middle of the night and I was checking my Instagram, I saw that there was some activity and these things were available, and I immediately jumped on them. Listen, you got a lot of fans out there that love these caps, so I want to turn it over to you to kind of talk through these.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks guys for having me on. I gotta say, first off, so I racked my brain over what hat I'm gonna wear, and then Pierre, you're saying you don't like denim hats. This is like the Canadian tuxedo, denim on denim, and then if you can throw a hat on them, it's denim on denim on denim. But
no, I didn't say I don't like that denim hat. I said I don't like that blue one.
Out of respect for the hosts and in deference to views from the vault, I'm gonna switch it up from the denim to maybe something a little more views from the vault appropriate. We'll go with the little vulture.
All right, that sounds good, man.
Yeah, guys. So Pierre, what you probably heard was prop wash from a plane flying over your house in the middle of the night that woke you up. And you realized that you need to go online and grab these from over your head. But
pick these things up.
Exactly. It was a sign from the heavens. So I did a re-release, a restock of 3 designs. I did a poll on Instagram, on the website, and on FHS on Facebook to see which had the most demand. There was a ton of demand for everything. I'm kind of thinking everything's going to get dropped at some point, but these 3 are the most cohesive. They all have kind of the same elements, the same themes. So I wanted to give people a chance to grab these again. They also kind of mark the beginning of Over Your Head, the middle, and a more recent release. So they all kind of tie together with the trifecta. But Yeah, I'd love to give people maybe a little bit more insight into why I released them and the ideas behind them and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I got a chance to hear you kind of talk through this, and I thought it was super interesting. So I think a lot of folks out there would love to hear this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the Trinity Bell. I designed this in 2016. So Over Your Head's been around officially since 2017. I did this design as kind of a one-off to dip my toes into the whole fitted design, custom fitted scene. I lived in Toronto growing up. I recently moved to a suburb just outside of Toronto. It's called Ajax. And I'm a guy who, if I wear something or I live somewhere or I do something, it's not enough to just kind of do it on like a surface level. I kind of want to know what's going on underneath the surface. So Ajax was created as a town in I think the 30s. There was a munitions factory here. So they built a munitions factory. All the workers from the factory came and moved into like row houses in the area, and they incorporated into a town. So there's like a World War II kind of vibe is the origin story to this city. So I wanted to kind of run with that. I've always loved bomber nose art. So like the stuff you can see in the bottom corner there, the stuff that they paint on the front of the bombers, a lot of times it would be airmen from whatever squadron, like amateur painters and stuff that would do that artwork. So I wanted to kind of play on that and do something Canadian. So just kind of tie everything together. So I decided to go with a pinup girl, Mountie. The inspiration for the Mountie woman is she's an actress called Ingrid Bergman. She was in Casablanca, which is like an iconic World War II movie. So I just kind of mixed all those in a pot, and out came the Trinity Bell. The original version, that's what it looks like here. So I did this before I knew kind of the ins and outs of how to submit artwork and what would look good and what would translate onto a hat. So the thing that always irked me about this first release was the lack of an outline and lack of definition between the legs and the black elements of the embroidery and the hat. So I did a re-release. It was supposed to coincide with the Canada 150 with some of that imagery, but Ottawa kind of kept that under lock and key. So we had to tweak that. But a couple years ago, I released the follow-up, the 2.0. So when I did this design, I made sure that when it was submitted, it was done in a way so that if I wanted to switch up the colorway down the road, I would have that contrast with the white. And I don't know if you guys saw, I don't know how many Trinity Bell 2.0 owners are out there that picked up on the Easter egg. So I submitted all the colors for the threads, and I thought I put in like a white color, just straight up white thread. I did not. I went to San Diego on a trip, came in from being outside, took my hat and put it in the closet of the hotel room. And the outline of the pinup girl is glowing at me. And I'm like, oh, that worked out nicely. So that was an Easter egg that's been hidden. A lot of people don't know about for a couple of years. So if you have one of the 2.0s, stick it in your closet, see what happens.
Nice.
But that would I racked my brain over whether to do the white front. I know a lot of people are not huge fans of the white fronts because they get dirty. I do like Pierre, who has the vault behind him. He can rock a white front and then stick it back in the vault for safekeeping. It's not going to take a lot of wear and tear, but to those of us who put our hats through the ringers, it could be a turnoff for some people. One of the other, whenever I'm looking for colorways for hats, I'll usually go to my collection and see what I like, what works, what kind of like mocks up. So this was another one that I was thinking of, the red with the white, maybe down the road, who knows, the 4.0. And then this was another one too, this Erie Seawolves black with the red brim. So who knows? We still got some colorways to play with.
I think people were pretty excited you picked the black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For that first kind of big re-release, I had to go with something back to the roots. So that's the first pre-over your head design. So you have a chance to grab it with a couple slight revisions.
So Adam, you have a question here from one of the viewers, Christoph. When will the pre-order run on these ones?
It's going to run till Monday, June the 8th is when the pre-order for these ones is going to close. So I'll make sure to post updates and stuff on Instagram and FHS and on the website so that people know that their time to grab one is coming to a close.
Perfect.
The one more side note to that. Sorry. So the Trinity Bell, there's like Memphis Bell, Liberty Bell, the whatever BELLE was kind of a go-to like bomber name. So I played off of, there's a park in Toronto called Trinity Bellwoods. It's like, it hit the news a couple of weeks ago because a lot of people, as soon as it got warm, went down and went buck wild because they were finally able to get out of their house for the first time in like 90 days. So the now infamous Trinity Bellwoods Park is immortalized in hat form.
They have social distancing circles now.
Circles now, yeah.
Yeah, they sprayed the circles
Looks like
onto the grass to let everyone know how far or close they can get. So shout out to Toronto.
Yeah. The second one, so this one did the Trinity Bell. I wanted to stay with the aviation theme. The first few hats that I released had kind of one of two themes. They were either aviation type stuff. I work at Pearson Airport. It's it's the biggest airport in Canada and one of the biggest in North America. So I like to tie in those like aviation elements. I've always been interested in graffiti. When I was younger, I used to kind of play around and make a mess, much to the chagrin of city painters and whatnot. But statute of limitations, so I can talk about it a little bit. One of my favorite documentaries is Style Wars. It takes place in New York in like the 70s and 80s and just really goes into depth about the graffiti scene. But because I was never that good of a graffiti artist, the height of my graffiti like stardom and activities was the throw up, which I think is like one of the unsung heroes of graffiti culture. I think that a stylized, well-executed throw up is a complete thing of beauty. When I was a kid, I used to ride the train into the city. The easiest way to get there was like this thing called a GO train. It's like a rail, whatever, like commuter train. But there used to be huge graffiti murals all along the GO train route. And before I really knew what was up, it was like the most mind-blowing thing. You see these like splashes of color and it's all like cryptic. You can't read it. So I've always been a fan of graffiti. So I wanted to kind of tie that in. I wanted to tie in aviation. I actually hit up Ink Park for this logo. You guys probably know Ink Park. He's done some stuff with the Clink Room. He's done some stuff with Hat Club. He's done some stuff from the Vaults. So yeah, he's very, very talented designer. So I had the concept. I wanted to do YYZ, which is the airport code for Toronto, in kind of bubble cloud type letters. And I wanted a plane to be bursting through that cloud. I gave him a couple sketches. I let him do his thing. And it's like he went into my brain, took it out of my brain, made it better, put it on paper, and sent it to me. And he did a really good job with this one. You guys, I know we mentioned the last time I was on, you might recognize that little Spitfire plane. That's become like the alternate logo for Over Your Head.
Yeah,
nice. That's now that makes regular appearances as the main event on Fitted.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We have the YYZ. This one is one of the more recent hats that we've done. So every year in the summer, I sit down and like a mad scientist, I go over the Major League Baseball schedule day by day, and I look for a period of days, usually 4 in a row, where my friends and I can hit the maximum number of games possible. We've now expanded it from just minor leagues to from just major leagues to minor leagues as well. But there was one year we did 9 parks in 4 days. I think that's our record. So this past year, we had the biggest turnout yet, which was 11 guys. So as soon as 11 guys committed to come, and I rented like a big kind of church van, like massive 12-seat van. As soon as they committed, I'm like, well, 11 is pretty close to the minimum for a hat order. So maybe we should do a commemorative hat. So I came up with the Pearson Barnstormers. So Pearson for the airport, link that in. Barnstorming has a few different kind of connotations. So originally Barnstormers were aviators and pilots from World War I. After the war, they had this skill. They didn't really have any way of using it. So they monetized that skill. And there was a lot of planes kind of kicking around, surplus planes. So they would take planes and they would fly from little town to little town, and they would put on almost like a one plane air show. But back then, a lot of people had never seen planes before. So it was like a big kind of, everybody would come down and it was a spectacle. And then at the end of some of these shows, they would either fly through a barn or they would crash their plane into a barn. And that's how they got the name Barnstormers. Then fast forward a few years, that name was applied to, there were teams before there were really organized baseball leagues. Major League Baseball was around, but that was pretty much the only game in town. So these teams would form and they would travel around the country challenging the local team. So they'd come into town, they'd say, get your baseball team. We got 9 guys, we're going to play. And it was kind of for bragging rights. So the guys with the long hair down in the corner there, they're called House of David. I've actually got, I got one of their hats here.
Yeah.
So they were, you know what's up here? Did you have one of these? I'm assuming.
Ebbets Field Flannels makes them now. I don't know if
Yes.
we can still make them. I think Ebbets Field is the only company that can make them now.
So I didn't really know a lot about them. Again, when I got the hat, I wanted to kind of deep dive and see what was going on. So it was a like religious sect, and one of their beliefs was that they couldn't cut their hair. And I guess another belief was that they had to be really good at baseball. So they started touring around the country, and they actually, now don't quote me on this, but I know that there's some affiliation with the Negro Leagues. Like this hat here has a Negro League side patch. So they weren't in like affiliated Major League Baseball, but they did have affiliation and connection to the Negro Leagues. So I wanted to kind of tie in the aviation with the baseball going from town to town. And you got to go with the skull because it's badass with the gold tooth, right? Why not? So we went to the final destination on our trip last year was Fenway Park. We saw the Jays play in Fenway. And that one picture you see is a screen grab taken without the express consent of Major League Baseball or the commissioner of the league. The group of us, we were the token home fans that traveled a great distance to support the Jays, shown on the screen during high leverage moments. That's me and a few of my friends. I don't know if you can see, but this is probably gonna get me kicked out of Fenway Park for the rest of my life, but they have a strict no tobacco policy, and there may or may not be a wad of Redmond Silver Blend in my cheek out of view of camera. So don't tell the Red Sox I'll be on the blacklist.
Appropriate for a barnstormer.
I'm just trying to get into character, right? If you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
That's right.
So the Barnstormer is going to be available as well till the 8th of June.
You know what I love most about this, and I think Leon, you most likely agree with me, is the stories behind these caps too. It's not like you just threw together some logo and chucked it on there. You think a lot about what you're going to do and what you're going to create, and I think that's pretty special, man. And I always love hearing your stories and how you kind of come to the place where your creation comes to fruition. So I really want to thank you, Adam, for taking us through that. Listen, I'm excited to get mine. That's for sure. And I know a lot of other people are too. So
yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, it's always a pleasure coming on. And yeah, for me, I just, I want to have nice hats. I want to give people nice hats, but I want to give people meaningful hats too. So that's kind of where it begins.
Yeah. They're going to have a special place in my vault once they get here. That's
the vault corner. The over your head corner.
I have my over your head section, so that's where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Nice. I got kind of like the safe. This is like the Costco safe you put your valuables in compared to the vault, but maybe one day.
It's all good. It's all good. We all have our collections, man.
You got prime space there. You got two boxes over your head ready to go on the leftist side, so that means they're easy to access. So
it's like the safety deposit box in the vault.
Like the first one to grab. So
yeah,
like the hotel safe, right?
Yeah, always at arm's reach.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it was great having you on again, and we're gonna be spending more time with you in the future because we do have some thoughts about a segment that you're gonna be doing regularly with us. So we're not gonna share that yet, but we're excited to kind of show that to the world too. But I want to thank you, Adam, again for being on. It's always great having you on.
Absolutely, guys. I'm enjoying the shows. I'm eating them up. So thanks for bringing us the content and keeping us entertained.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Adam. Leon, you ready to take us away?
Yeah. So make sure you guys join us on Saturday. We're going to be going under the cap. We're going to start a new kind of thing where we feature collectors. So Marin is going to be the first one we do on that side. Jason Mead is going to have his own. Do you want to talk about that now, or should we talk about that later?
No, we could talk about it. So we're going to be doing spots that with Jason Mead, and we're going to be releasing them on Sundays that are going to really go through his top 10 hats, right?
Yeah, for the given week.
For that given week. And so that's going to be our closure to the week. Is what better guy than Jason Mead to take us through his top 10 hats, and the three of us will discuss them. And then that'll be dropping in into the YouTube, and we'll put the links up on FHS and Team Fitted on Sundays.
Yeah, so 5950's most wanted. We're gonna count them down every week. It'll be a cool little piece of content for us to film and for you guys to watch. So other than that, catch you guys Saturday. We got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. So stay fitted, and we'll catch you guys later.
See ya.